Bangladesh is that you don't always necessarily get the correct information, the up-to-date information. And this is something we are very proud to say that we provide students with information that genuinely helps them. Also, the presentation has been entitled as how a great IELTS score can take you to great universities. When you think of studying at a top university, one of the first requirements you have to fulfill is that you need to get a very good score in a standardized English language proficiency assessment exam like the IELTS, the TOEFL, or the PT. IELTS is by far the most popular English proficiency assessment test in the whole world. Every year, I think close to 4 million tests are being taken globally. This one single test is being taken every year. 4 million tests. So this basically outranks the TOEFL and PT and all the other standardized tests. And in Bangladesh, every year close to 45,000 people take IELTS. Most of them to study to fulfill the admission requirement at a foreign university. And I think that, my key focus here is to sort of motivate you to aspire higher. Think when you finish your bachelor's, ask yourself, what are my plans right now? Do I want to stay for a year here in Bangladesh, do a job, and then go for my master's? Or I want to do it right now? Whatever the timeline might be, first take the IELTS, get an outstanding score. In an IELTS, the maximum possible score you can have is 9. I had an 8.5, most of my trainers had an 8.5, most of my colleagues at Eduko actually took the IELTS and had scores like this. So I would expect that most of the students here, you would want to have a score like that. And then apply for top university. You might not get acceptance to your first choice university, but you will definitely get accepted to the second choice or the third choice university. Go abroad, get the degree, stay for a couple of years, gain some valuable international work experience, come back to Bangladesh, start working for a multinational or a local company, or start your own venture, start your own company. And you will see the difference you will make to this country, to your family, to the community in which you live in. So this is what our presentation is going to be all about. I'm just going to give you a brief idea about our company. I've already mentioned that it is incorporated in Singapore. We have one more branch in Sri Lanka, and in Bangladesh we basically have a third operation. And in Bangladesh we have partnered with the STS group. You might not be familiar with the STS group, but you are most definitely familiar with the Evercare Hospital. The STS group is the one that brought Evercare Hospital to Bangladesh. We also brought the international school Dhaka at Bosundhara, the DPS school at Uttara, and we of course have the Eduko Pathways company at Bonn. There's another venture that we have recently started. We have started the Monash College campus in Bhutan. So that is part of the Monash Australia's foundation and year 1 programs in Bhutan, but that's not going to be of much interest to you, I understand. So this one I've already covered. The next one. Look, this is basically the focus of my presentation. Let us not confine our career aspirations, our academic aspirations within the boundaries of Bangladesh. I think each and every one of you will consider yourself not only as a citizen of this country, but basically a global citizen. We are all part of this great big world. There are so many challenges, there are so many opportunities. So let's just think of that. Yeah, I'm not necessarily a Bangladeshi. I'm an inhabitant of this planet Earth. So if I consider myself to be a global citizen, then my academic and career aspirations should not be confined within the borders of Bangladesh alone. Let's think of studying, working in the United States, in Canada, in Europe, Australia, in any country of the world. If we have the talent, if we have the motivation, we should most definitely take up on the challenge and do something for ourselves and for our families and for our communities. And I think it is important to have that confidence. I do get a number of students coming to our office every day and telling me that, yeah, I want to go to these top universities around the world. I want to study at Cambridge, I want to start at Oxford. And you should have the confidence, but having the confidence just might not be enough. You need to acquire a certain level of skill. And this IELTS test, that will require a certain level of language competency on your part so that you can get a decent score, a good score in the exam, and then apply to a top university. What you should aspire for, what you should dream of is to have this global academic and career mobility. You can work in Bangladesh, you can work in the United States, you can work in Canada. Even if you work, let's say you're working for a company like BAT. BAT does, many of the Bangladeshi employees at BAT, they actually eventually get transferred to their New Zealand operation or to their Australia operation or to their North America operation. So the fact that you should think of the world as your workplace, as your workstation. Don't think that Bangladesh is everything. Yeah, at the end of the day, we are born here. This is a place where we probably spend the most of our life in, but we also have to think globally and have a sort of enriched perspective about our life and about the work we'll be doing. So if you have a great score in the IELTS exam, you have options to study at these top universities. These are basically, when you go to the United States, think of studying at an Ivy League university. You are going to Canada, think of studying at U15. You're going to United Kingdom, they call their elite universities to be the Russell Group universities. And in Australia, they've got top 8 universities, they call it GO8. So initially, come to our office and tell us that I want to study at this particular university. In fact, we don't necessarily represent all of these universities. But we love it when students tell us that, yeah, I want to study at this great university. And eventually you might not get accepted, then settle for something that is close in ranking, close in status to that particular university. But dream big, aim high. That's probably the biggest advice that I can give to you. And we would love to assist you in giving proper information and proper suggestions about choosing this particular university that we feel will be of great value to you, academically and career-wise when you start your professional career. We did a research before we started this IELTS operation here. Right now, there are 25 countries around the world where students from Bangladesh can do their bachelor's, master's or PhD in an English taught setting. And we found out there are 15,000 universities you can choose from. So look, I think when I was in school, our teachers used to say that think of the world as your playground. And I think right now it's true that the world is our workplace. The world is our university. So you have got so many options to choose from. So do some research, let us help you, and you'll be able to find out, and you'll be able to find out for yourself which is the best destination from us. And another thing that might happen, let's say you have worked in Bangladesh for 3 or 4 years, either in engineering or finance or in any other category, and then you decide that maybe I want to move to Canada or Australia on an immigrant visa. Then again, you might have to take the IELTS again, and that IELTS score will also help you to go to Canada or Australia on an immigrant visa. One of the things I'm not sure many of you are familiar with is that from Bangladesh right now, a number of medical graduates are moving to the United Kingdom to work for their national healthcare services, which they call the NHS. Usually, they have to take the IELTS, they have to have a very good score in that exam, and eventually they move to UK on an employment visa. So that is one of, I think for you that might not apply because you are primarily engineering graduates. And look, finally, let's say your aspiration is to work in Bangladesh. You don't want to leave this country, but you still want to have a very good level of English language competency because that does play a big role in your workplace success. So if you can take the IELTS, get a close to perfect score in this exam, that really shows the employers that, I am really good at English language communication. And in fact, when we shortlist CV at our company, it's not in our company, I think in many of the companies in Bangladesh this does happen. If you have a good score on your resume, we at least tell HR to shortlist that CV. So it might sort of help you, stand out from the crowd. So even if you don't have any plans for going abroad at this point in time, take the IELTS, get a good score. Yeah, that might help you in getting a dream job or landing a very good job offer. So when we started doing the Eduko IELTS training program, I was told to do something different. So what I did was that we started recruiting IELTS trainers from different parts of the world. So right now we have people from Canada, from Malaysia, from Bangladesh, from India training students. So it is basically a global operation in terms of the IELTS training program. And another thing that we try to do is that we try